Hello guys, I'm back from another video and I'm not really, I'm sort of sorry now. I didn't really make a video like last time because I was busy with like so many school projects. Especially with my, performance task, which by the way, I pretty much did it pretty well. Sort of. Well, I sort of flunked at the last part, but thankfully I was able to get 85-ish, I guess. But still, either way. So hello guys, I'm back from another video, and today's about what if Deku was in high school DxD. So in the last video we talked about how, well, it was mostly just like filler stuff, as in basically having a lot of fun. Everybody's basically doing the beach episode, yay! And after a while, Saji would basically confess about his, love about, Tsubaki. And apparently tells Izuku about his past. Or at least, sort of past, where he met, Tsubaki during his first year at, at Kuo. During that time, well, Tsubaki was pretty much weak, and pretty much a meek girl. But after, saving her from some bullies, she would basically be thankful to him. But after he got into second year, he would start getting bullied by the same girl, this time being beaten to a bloody pulp by her gang. But thankfully, Tsubaki came in and would basically start, well, let's just say pulling some strings, so these bullies would basically be, no longer in Kuo. And after that, that is how, Saji, that's how Saji basically fell in love with Tsubaki in the first place. Yeah, it's pretty much a, summarized version of that, but either way. So, yeah, so after basically telling him this, Izuku would basically, would sort of be surprised, but after that, he would just sigh and would say that he can definitely do it. I mean, you basically, saved the girl, multiple times already, so yeah. So, after saying that, he would basically be thankful to him, and would request of him a favor. In this case, he was planning to basically, make a lovely dinner for her after, after this trip is over. But there's one, glaring, problem. He doesn't know how to cook. Yeah. So, yeah. So, he asked Izuku if he can, teach him how to cook. And so, he would decide to do so as a friend. And so, before they can get some sleep, they would be interrupted by Issei telling them that they, that they should basically get to her, and the other in the other girl's room, except for his mom and dad. His mom and dad are basically in another room having, let's just say, wrestling. But either way, after that, they would start leaving to go to where Issei and the rest of the girls are basically there. So, yeah, so that's where we basically ended off the episode. And if you're, and if you realize over here, well, I decided to change my recording software because for some odd reason, well, it turns out something happened. And every time when I try to record, it keeps saying, file basically, file unable to basically be saved. So, yeah, so I'm gonna be doing it like this now. Going back to my old software, which was, I think it was called, extra, X something, whatever it's called, but either way. So yeah, so let us talk about what happens next, ladies and gents. So we currently see Izuku, Saji, and also, well, not really also, but, but either way, both of them are currently following, Issei, as Issei would say this. I've been always wanting to play Truth or Dare with you, Izuku, she would say, as he would say this. Not excited for me, he would say. As Saji would say this, yeah, especially with her perverted ass, as she would say this. Aw, thank you, she would say. As Izuku would say this. That was not a compliment, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, I know. But I do like getting compliments about my ass, she would say. As Izuku would start to blush, but also feel disappointed in himself for basically getting into that joke. As he would say this. Fucking damn it, he would say. As after saying that, they would finally arrive at the girls' room. As, the rest of the people there are basically getting ready for the game. As we also see, well, Kaneko doing her own thing. As Kaneko was basically, chowing down on, some leftover candies that she, smuggled. Oh god damn it! Just imagine her, just like basically like smuggling it, like a freaking drug dealer going to like Mexico or something. Oh god damn it! I'm probably gonna be canceled for that. Actually, I don't have Twitter, so fuck off. Wait for a second. Oh, so before we actually get back to the video, I wanted to ask of you guys. Do you want me to make a what if about, Izuku being in Hololive because, the voting system last time? At least, I think that was last time, or at least sort of, but either way. Would you want to see that? Because I really want to do that. I mean, I did see a lot of freaking fanfiction about Izuku basically being in Hololive, and it was absolutely freaking hilarious, but also quite dark. What do I mean by this? Well, have you seen a certain, series where basically Izuku gains the powers of Ayato from, Genshin Impact, and basically, well, getting All Might basically pumped and pumped and pumped, as in, basically getting punted basically like a freaking, like, football by, the girls in Hololive. Yeah, and let's just say to the point that he basically loses all of his powers. Yeah, let's just say, oh boy, let's just say All Might is basically being down. And as for a certain, well, girl by the name of Bakugo, yeah, Bakugo's a girl in that, in that fanfiction, also with Shoto, and also he has a sister. Let's just say both of them are almost dead, and basically, basically being to a bloody pulp, to the point that they tried, finding the way to basically gain forgiveness to Izuku. But because of, a little complication, as in, most of the girls in Hololive, or at least in that fanfiction, became freaking yandere for him. Well, let's just say it didn't work. It didn't freaking work. So yeah, and also if the author of that specific fanfiction, please continue it. I swear, please. I want to see more of Bakugo getting her ass beaten. Or maybe even much more, terrifying her. Maybe All Might getting stabbed in the stomach by All Might, and probably, All For One discovering how All Might's son is basically working with, a couple of, I don't know, eldritch entities and freaking gods. Oh god, I can just imagine All For One going I think All Might deserved that, he would say, and Shigaraki go can he join us? As he would go no, I'm not letting him join us. Besides, have you seen this guy's fucking group? Shigaraki. Oh yeah, I'd agree. Toga, meanwhile, are they my people? Oh, god damn it. But either way, continue on. As we currently see, well, Izuku basically sitting down on, on the floor, including Saji. As one of them would say this. So, who's gonna go first? Said, well, Momo, which she was curious about. As one of them would say this. Specifically, well, as one of them specifically, Katase would basically grab a bottle out of nowhere. As one of them would say this. Where did you get that bottle? She would say. As she would say this. Well, found it, near Izuku's parents', room. I think his dad is probably drinking or something. And judging by the noises of moaning, basically there, I can already tell what is happening, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Please do not give me that image, she would say. As one of them would say this. Oh, sorry, she would say. As one of them specifically, Rias would say this. Alright, let's start, she would say. As we also currently see, a really blushing ass, well, Sona, as she's currently blushing a lot. As she would say this. Am I really playing this, she would say. And not only that, with my, with my husband, she would say. As she would start, twirling her fingers a little bit. As one of them would say this. Alright, let's start, said Rias. As one of them specifically, well, one of them specifically, what is her name? Specifically, Rias would start, as she would start spinning the bottle. As after it lands on Issei, as she would say this. Hey Issei, she would say. As Issei would say this. What? She would say. As she would say this. Truth or dare, she would say. As he would say this. Oh, dare, she would say, as she would say this. I dare you to try and scream at the top of your lungs a stupid song, she would say, as she would say this. Got it. As she would start singing, you know. The first, the first opening of, Tokyo Ghoul. Just imagine her singing that, but in a really, really bad way. Just imagine, all of the vocals basically being like... What the fuck did I just say? Just imagine it just one of those, sliding flutes. Just imagine it like that, where it goes ooh, 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 going up and down, up and down, up and down. Basically going all over the place. As after, trying to sing, somebody kicks, or not really kicks, but more throws a beer can at them, which was a bit surprising. As you would see in the distance, a few, rowdy college kids basically, on a boat basically driving away. As she would say this, ow, that hurt, she would say, as Izuku would just be laughing a little bit, as he would say this. Actually, you kind of remind me back at elementary school, he would say, as she would say this. Yeah, we shall never talk about that, she would say, as one of them would say this. Specifically, Tsubaki. As Tsubaki would say this. Now, who's next, she would say. As one of them would say this. Specifically, Akeno. As everybody would tense up instantly, because they already know what she's planning to do in many ways than one. As she would start spinning the bottle. As after spinning the bottle, it would land on Izuku. Let's just say the air is pretty much tense, as we currently see Saji going you're fucked, kid, he would say, as Izuku would say this. Why must you torture me? He would say, I don't want to die to this freaking femdom. Oh, god damn it. As, she would say this. So, truth or dare, she would say. As she would start, licking her lips. As Izuku would say this. Truth, he would say. As she would say this. What is the last time you ever wet your bed, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Easy, it's my childhood, would say. As she would say this. No lying, she would say. As he would say this. I'm not lying, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, please, you're lying, she would say. As her eyes would be almost vigilant, as Izuku would start to tense up. As he would say this. As he would start, panicking a little bit. Just imagine him going panic. No, something like this. The candle's there with a whip. Panic. Don't worry, she's not just gonna do it on herself. Calm. She grabs a ball gag and puts it in your mouth. Panic. Oh, god damn it. Something of that sort. As she would say this. Come on. We're all ears, she would say, as the other girls would listen, as Izuku would say this. Okay, fine, he would say, as he would just sigh, as he would say this. The last time I ever went to bed is when my parents basically, told me that they're coming back, he would say, as she would start laughing a little bit, as she would say this. Aw, cute, she would say, as he would say this. It was just a natural response. I mean, what if they ever known that, or at least, knew that, they were fallen angels or something, he would say. I mean, I did know that they were actually, a part of the supernatural at first, but still, he would say. As she would say this. How cute, she would say. As Izuku would say this. You damn freaking sadist, he would say. As she would say this. Now, I think it's your turn, she would say. As he would say this. Oh, right, he would say. As after saying so, he would spin the bottle. As it would land on Kiba. As Kiba would say this. Truth or dare. I meant, not truth or dare. I meant she would say. So, as Izuku would say this. So, truth or dare, he would say. As she would say this. truth, she would say, as she would say this. I mean, he would say this. So, Kiba, hmm, as he would start to think, as he would say this. Huh, I know. What is the most embarrassing thing that you ever, that was ever happened to you, he would say. As she would start to, blush a little bit, as she would laugh, heartedly, as she would say this. When I was in my first year, Kuo, I was sort of approached by this girl, and because at the time I was still pretending to be a boy, well, let's just say, well, I was a bit confused and would basically blurt out that, I'm not ready to date. Let's just say it's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me, she would say, as Izuku would say this. Yeah, I can definitely see that, he would say, as, Kiba would say this. Alright, my turn, she would say, as after doing so, it would land on Izuku again, as Izuku would say this. Why do I feel like this is karma, he would say, as she would say this. So, truth or dare, she would say, as he would say this. Dare, he would say, as she would say this. Alright, as her mind would start going elsewhere. Just imagine the ascended meme. As she would have a big brain, as she would say this. So, how about 20 minutes in heaven, she would say. As Izuku and the others would just be wide-eyed. As one of them specifically, well, what is her name? Oh yeah, Akeno, as she would say this. Ara, I didn't know that you're bold enough to do that, she would say. As she would say this. And your, partner that's gonna be doing that is, as she would spin the bottle. As the bottle would, land on. Oh boy. Let's do a coin flip. Let me just get something over there. Okay, I'm currently on, Google, and I put up the, the thing known as, flip a coin. And yeah, so heads are going to be Kiba, tails are going to be, Kaneko. Yeah. Why did I pick these two? Is because, I decided to do so because, I want to have some more development for both of them to basically fall in love with Izuku a little bit more. So yeah, let us begin then. So, who's gonna win? Well, that was a surprise. It seems that Kaneko's going to be the girl. Oh boy, this is going to be a bad start. So, as the bottle would land on Kaneko, as Kaneko would be surprised, including Izuku, as all of the girls would start, or at least some of the girls, except for, Tsubaki for obvious reasons, as, we also see a fuming as, Kiba, as you see this. How did I miscalculate it, she would say. As, we also see a really, really mad Sona, as Sona would see this. How, she would say. As, we would also see, a somewhat angry, Irina and also Issei, as she would say this. Like, both of them would say this in unison. Come on, why can't we just do it with our childhood friend, they would say, both at the same time in their minds. As we also see Ria's also a bit jealous, including, sort of a Keno. As we also see Zenobia also jealous, as we also see Momo, Katase, Murayama, and also, Calwinner also being jealous. So, yeah. So, as it would just be silent and also tense. As we also see, Sanji going as he would basically grab him by the shoulder as he would say this. Don't worry, I won't tell anybody that you're a lolicon. As Izuku would say this. Bro, what the fuck? As he would say this. What? Either way, I think it's better for you to just as Kaneko would say this. Let's get this over with, she would say. As after saying so, both of them would basically go into the closet, or at least sort of closet. As we currently see all of the girls basically glaring at each other. Not really glaring at each other, but more to a certain, blonde-haired knight. As he would say this. Why did, or at least she would say, why did I miscalculate it, she would say. Oh god. I still can't believe that they decided to go for Kaneko of all people. I really wanted to be heads for, Kiba, not freaking Kaneko. But either way, so, as we currently see everybody just like, glaring at, the blonde-haired knight, as she would say this. Why did I miscalculate it, she would say. As after that, we go to the perspective of Izuku once again. As Izuku would just be there inside of the closet. And not only that, it was sort of cramped, so unfortunately, both of them were basically like, chest to chest, or at least sort of, because, Kaneko's that short. Like, she was barely like at Izuku's, well, stomach area, I guess can say, as Izuku would say this. So, are you okay, Kaneko? As she would say this. I'm fine, she would say. As after saying that, he would say this. Why do I feel something is basically like, rubbing against me, he would say. As she would say this. Pervert, she would say. As she would say this. Wait, what is that supposed to mean? As she would say this. But still, she would say. I mean, you really gone married to, well, her of all people, she would say. As she would say this. Wait, you mean, Sona? I mean, it was a bit of a surprise at first, but after now, or at least after a while, I sort of got used to it, he would say. As she would say this. Yeah, but I still feel angry, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Wait, what is that supposed to mean? As she would say this. You see, Izuku, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, Kaneko, he would say. As she would say this. Well, you see. Wait for a second. You see, as we go to a little flashback. So, we currently see a kid, Izuku, as Izuku is currently, with his family. And this is after, Irina basically left to go to, yeah, Italy, I think. Or was it, England? Either way, just imagine him basically, like, doing his own thing. Basically, going through the streets of, like, Kuo. As, after a while, he would make it towards a alleyway, as he would say this. Why do I hear meowing, said Izuku. As Izuku would start, looking around, as he would see a cat. As Izuku would say this. It looks hurt, he would say. Even though he still had his memories from back then, he still can't help it. He's still pretty much a kid at that point. As Izuku would basically grab the kitten by, by its back, as he would see that the kitten seems to be quite, battered and bruised. As he would say this. Are you okay? He would say, as the kitty would start meowing. As he would notice it having, well, brownish fur. Or at least he thinks that it's brownish fur. As he would say this. Guess I'll better clean you up, he would say. As after saying so, he would start leaving. So, after arriving back home, his parents are currently, at work right now, so he was pretty much alone, as he would say this. Alright, time to clean you, kitty, he would say. As after saying so, he would start cleaning the little cat. As after, while cleaning it, the cat would seem to be, well, sort of enthused. Except for the part where he had to clean its, legs, which, well, felt, not really felt, but more like, the cat would start, meowing a lot. And you can probably guess what that means. As after a bit of washing, he would notice the fur, instead of turning into just like a lighter shade of brown, instead, it was turning pure white. As he would say this. You're that dirty. Guess I'll clean you more, he would say. As after a bit of cleaning, he would basically, scrub up all of the dirt from it, and now, it was all pure white. As he would say this. I'm gonna call you Shiro. If you don't get that reference, well, then you probably don't know Otaku Daikun. And if you're wondering what the hell is Otaku Daikun, well, he was the person that basically, made me go into Fate in the first place. The reason why and how is because of like Fate memes. Yeah. The actual the actual way I first got into Fate was actually Fate. I think Fate Apocrypha. Yeah, I think so. When I was first recommended to it, and then all of the shit that happened. Yeah, up until now. But either way, as after cleaning it, he would basically play with it for a long time now. As after a few hours, his parents would come home, as he would say this, specifically his dad. Izuku, I'm home. As he would say this. Dad, he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. So, how have you been? And, dang, you smell like a cat, he would say. As he would say this. Huh? As he would say this. Oh, you just smell bad. What happened to you? As he would say this. Oh, I got a new friend, he would say. As he would say this. Really? Who? As he would say this. Look, look, he would say. As after saying that, he would start bringing, his dad towards his bedroom. As after opening the door, nobody was there. As he would say this. Shiro? He would say. As he would say this. Shiro, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically his dad. Who's Shiro exactly, he would say. As he would say this. Oh, my kitty cat, he would say. As he would say this. Kitty cat. Oh, you got a pet, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, but where's Sharon, he would say. As he would say this. Maybe Sharon left, he would say. As he would say this. He left, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, it seems so. I'm guessing it's probably because she probably had to leave because, well, something important maybe, he would say. As he would say this. Well, I really wanted to, take care of him more, or take care of her more, he would say. As he would say this. Oh, don't worry, son. Besides, I could definitely get you a new pet. Maybe a goldfish, he would say. As he would say this. But they always die in a few months, he would say. As he would say this. How do you know, he would say. As he would say this. I keep seeing you flush my, keep flushing every single goldfish every month, he would say. As he would say this. Let's just ignore that. And after that, we go back to present day, as you would say this. Wait, so you're telling me that you're, as she would say this. Yep, I'm, as she would, transform into, into the same white cat, but much more older. As he would say this. Sharon, he would say, as, Kaneko would basically, nod her head, as she would transfer back into a normal, cat. As she would say this. Yeah, I'm Sharon, she would say. As she would say this. Well, that is quite unexpected, he would say. As she would say this. Yeah. When I first met you back in, back in the first year, or at least, when we first met, during, our time there, and when, well, the pervert over there sort of told me about you, well, I sort of, well, she would say, as she would start, blushing a little bit, as he would say this. What is that supposed to mean? As he would say that. As she would say this. Well, you did take care of me, so why not, repay the favor, she would say. As after saying this, Izuku would say this. What is that supposed to... But before he could say anything else, she would basically lap up and would basically, kiss him on the lips. As she would say this. Just let it all go, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Kaneko, he would say. As she would say this. Just do it, she would say. As he would say this. As before he can say anything else, he would still be kissing her. Or at least she would try to. As after doing so, she would start, getting in a full view of, or at least, a full, tour of his mouth. She would start, licking all over, as she would start fighting, Izuku's tongue, which Izuku was not really expecting, so he basically lost. As after doing so, she would basically let go, as a string of saliva would basically, would be connected between them. As she would say this. I always wanted to do that, she would say. She would just smile, as she would say this. Now, she would say, I want you to pet me, she would say. As he would say this, pet? As she would say this. Yeah. I just want a pet, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Sure, he would say. As he would basically, put his hand on her head, as he would start scratching it. As she would start feeling, yellow, like, scratches on her scalp, as she would say this. It feels nice, she would say. As she would start purring, almost like a cat. As Izuku would say this, why do I feel this way, he would say. Why am I feeling this way? I mean, I'm basically gonna get married, or at least soon to be married, but still, he would say. As he would start, feeling something, something happening down under. As, Kaneko seems to be touching something that's... yeah... a bit out of left field, to say the least, but let's just say mating season is right now. Let's just say mating season is basically right now. As she would say this. I always wanted to try this, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Wait, what are you doing? As she would say this. Come on, I feel so lightheaded, she would say. As, her cat ears and tail would basically come out. As Izuku would think, damn, why is she so adorable? As he would shake his head as she would say this. No, focus, he would say. As you would, as she would try to, pull down thy pants. Oh, god damn it. Every time I hear that line, I keep seeing, like, Enda saying that. What do I mean by this? Well, if you seen, like, what is that called? As Izuku would try to stop her from basically getting into his, pants. And if you're wondering, I think, Eda said that in, like, I think it was, yeah, in the golfing video with the rest of, like, Niji cancelled. Oh, God. It was also one of my favorite videos because of, like, how Ena basically, like, if you want to, like, hear the full context, basically see, like, a clip of it. It just made me fucking laugh. The whole, like, I saw a straight dick. Oh, yeah, sure. It was my dad. And everybody's just, like, so confused. It's like, what the fuck? And I just go, like, Choco what? Chocolate the what? Oh, God, why? This is why I love Niji. Like, this is why I love Niji. Like, Niji, Niji Sanji for that reason. Just because of this type of bull. Oh, God. But either way, continue on with the episode. As she would try to, take off Izuku's, Excalibur. His cosmic leap. Oh, God. As he would try to stop her, as he would say this. Izuku. Not Izuku, I meant. Kaneko, stop, he would say. As she would say this. Don't worry, I'll be gentle, she would say. As she would start getting those glazed eyes. As she just wants it already. Because, technically, this is sort of like mating season for them. Or at least, sort of in this universe. As Izuku would say this. Please stop this, he would say. As before they can actually do it, or at least, Izuku is gonna be forced to do it by, Kaneko. Somebody would open the door, or at least open the door of the cabinet, as this person was, well, unfortunately, Sona. As she would say this. Alright, you two, I think that's enough. But before she can, everybody would have a full view of, like, Kaneko trying to get into Izuku's pants. As some of them even heard, what they were doing. Mostly Izuku saying, please stop it. As we currently see a Sona with, Sona basically having, having her eyes covered by shadow. As she would say this. So, mind telling me what you're doing, Unika Show, she would say. as she would say this. Huh? She would say, as she would look over and would see, Sona basically having a death glare at her. As she would say this. Mind telling me, what the fuck are you doing? She would say, as she would basically cuss it out. As the other girls, specifically, Ravo basically glaring at her as well, saying, yeah, why? She would say, as she would say this, well, it's been a long time since I've seen him, so I just want to have a bit of fun, she would say. As one would say this, well, this is quite a surprise, Ara, she would say, specifically, Kaneko. Not Kaneko, I meant, Akeno. As we currently see a really angry Riaz, as she would try to calm down, as she would say this. I think it's better for all of us to get some sleep already, she would say. As Rota would say this, specifically, well, a somewhat annoyed ass, what is her name? Yes, God damn it, my phone. As Cowwinner would say this. Yeah, I think it's better to do it that way, she would say. As she would start, grinding her teeth. As she would say this, specifically, Sona, as she would say this. Yes, I think it's better that way, she would say. As after saying that, everybody would basically start leaving. Or at least, everybody's going to be getting ready to go to sleep. As Yusuke would say this. Well, that was as Saji would say this. So, why did she do that? As he would say this. Well, as he would explain. After explaining it, he would say this. So you're telling me that Kaneko was a cat that you saved? As he would say this. Yeah, I didn't know that it was an actual... I never thought that she would probably be, I didn't know that my freaking pet cat would just be a literal lolly over there. As he would say this. Well, I guess there's some unexpected things in the supernatural world, but still, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, agreed. I just start to think that, my life is getting weirder and weirder. And trust me, it's probably gonna get even weirder when we get into, in the, what is that called? In the Kyoto arc, or the, oops, all yokai! Oh god, and it's probably gonna be even more interesting because his dad, spoiler by the way, is a sort of like representative, or at least sort of like representative, for Kyoto. And because he's an Oni, well, let's just say he sort of has sway in there. But not only that, let's just say because, he's sort of married to, like, the daughter of, like, of the God Killer, aka, Skahawk, and the trainer of, the Child of Light, aka Kukulane, well, let's just say he's definitely gonna be like there. Mostly because of his, blood. And also his heritage. And probably for his looks. Okay, I should stop. I should just stop. But either way, after that, Izuku would basically make it back to their room with Saji, as Saji and Izuku would basically fall asleep. But unbeknownst to them, one of the girls would start leaving to go towards Izuku's room. As after arriving at, Izuku and Saji's room, she would basically, make space for herself for Izuku, as she would basically press up her, not to pretty much, large ass breasts towards Izuku's back, as she would say this. You feel nice, she would say. As it would be revealed to have, or at least the girl would be revealed to have, blonde-ish hair. So, yeah. So, I'm gonna be ending this episode right off here, and before you guys leave, guess in the comments who it is. Who is this girl that's basically in Izuku's bed. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!